Hello there, you look magnificent. I mean, of course, you already know that because you should always feel that way, but I just thought that maybe I would tell you. Hi there, hello. So, still in my home office. It's a mess. I apologize for that. I'm using my USB microphone for audio and my Twitch camera for the video because I had to return the DSLR I was using last time, and I also had to finally return the shotgun mic to my friend. So I don't have those anymore, and I'm still waiting on the vlog camera and stuff that I ordered to show up. So this is what we got. This is what we're working with. And it actually kind of has to do with what I want to talk about today, if you would allow me to. I mean, the main point of what I want to talk about today is pressure and how we deal with that, or how I deal with it, and maybe that can be useful for you. And then also, part of that goes into using what you have, working with what you have. But let's start with pressure. I try to operate under pressure. I feel like that's how I do my best work. And this can be in things that don't seem like monumental tasks, like an essay for school. I was the kind of person who the night before it was due, that's when I would write it. Yeah, I knew I had to write it for a week or 2 weeks prior, but I'll do it the night before, and even though it was stressful, and you're kicking yourself for it, it usually worked out for me. But it isn't the best way to operate. And now, how I work today, we have the Curiosity Box. That is a business that has other people that are a part of it. I have my show, Could You Spy the Movies? I'm not the only person there. There are other people a part of it. And I need to change my mindset. I just can't leave things to the last minute anymore because other people are dependent on my decisions, on my actions. It's almost like a group project in school. You never wanted to be that one person who didn't actually do anything, but there always was that one person. And it doesn't mean that they were lazy. They just might have not been as invigorated to work on it as soon as you wanted to work on it. They might have worked on it eventually, but you get the point. I tend to do a lot of things all at once. And this reminds me of a video I made 4 or 5, 6 years ago. I don't even know anymore. Time, it's a flat circle. I talked about limits and what is one's limit and what is my own limit. And I think a different way to think about it is about pressure. Pressure that you put on yourself. Because a lot of times, and I can only speak to myself, but this might apply to you. A lot of the pressure that is on me is pressure that I created for myself. It is not external pressure from somebody else. It is my own. But especially when I started on YouTube fully, I dedicated my every waking moment to it. It is all I focused on. It is all that I worked on. It's all that I thought about. I didn't have time for friends anymore. I didn't have time for family. I just wanted to make content, and I needed to exist on YouTube. I needed to exist on Twitter. I needed to exist on Instagram. But then ultimately, who is that for? Is that making me happy? Is that giving me what I want? And I bring this up because I have realized, and it took a lot of time, it honestly took having cancer to figure this out, that you can take a breath. You can take a moment that is just for you, actually for you. Because if you're creating things, yeah, it is an expression of yourself, but it is something that is shared amongst others. You occasionally just need things that are yours. And that could be just closing your eyes and trying to think about nothing. It could be playing a video game. It could be spending time with a friend or friends or family. But you do need those moments. And why is that important? Again, I am a workaholic, and I think I was actually much more of one a few years ago, where I let all those things fall by the wayside because what was important was creating, was making something. But I lost sight of the other things that I could make. I could make friendships, I could make relationships, I could make memories, moments that were shared amongst others that are actually here with me, not just people through a screen. And you need to find that balance. You don't have to completely silo off one from the other, you just need to find a balance, and it took me a very long time. And there's still moments where I think that I am not doing enough, that I could be doing more, or that I'm getting lazy. I'm sitting watching television. I should be doing something else. I should be reading a book. And it's okay to not be reading a book. You can find time as long as you purposely find time to do that. It's okay to not be writing 24/7 if that's what you want to do. You can find time to do that. You need time to recharge, to recoup what you have spent. Being able to understand that even though it might not be something you're sharing with the whole wide world, you are sharing it with somebody else, even if that somebody is you. It is yours. And, ways that I've tried to do this is I've tried to be more thoughtful in the way that I interact with people and just listening to them. You don't always have to be speaking. You can just be listening. And it's not awkward if you don't always respond. You're actively listening to somebody else. And that's great. That's really lovely sometimes. That's sometimes all somebody wants. It's just someone to listen. I've tried exercising more. And I find, especially when I'm stressed out or I'm under a lot of pressure, going on like a 30-minute bike ride really helps. Because all I do is I think about these issues or these problems that I'm dealing with, but I'm active. I'm doing something that allows me to think about them differently, a lot less myopically than when I'm just staring at the problem head on, right? It allows me to be more creative in my solution. Or maybe it allows me to realize that this actually isn't that big of an issue. And I just needed this time to myself to realize that. I've said this before in videos, and I will say it again. If something is important to you, there is always time to do it, because you can always find time. It's about being conscious of the time that you have and what of that time you are willing to spend. That's what I'm gonna leave you with. I don't know, it's just something I've been considering and I wanted to get it out there and just talk about it. Not so much for you, honestly, I'm being selfish. It was more for me to hear it out loud, and now I'm kind of holding myself to this. It's almost a promise that I'm making to myself because I am now accountable to you. There's gonna be some more videos soon that maybe aren't just me having a therapy session, but that's what all these videos are anyway in some form. They're therapy. So thank you for being a wonderful therapist. I appreciate that very much. All right, I'm gonna go edit this, play some Cyberpunk 2077. Very excited about that. You know, if you follow me on the Twitches, I'll probably be playing it there, and you'll realize how terrible at these kinds of games I am. But you know what? It's still fun. Alrighty dighty. That's all I got for you. Thanks so much for spending some time with me. I very much appreciate it. And remember, it is not goodbye. Oh no, it's never goodbye. It's...